Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your general reading. If you just found my channel, welcome and thank you for being here. For those of you returning, thank you for being here. So Capricorn, let's see where this goes. Wow. I'm feeling a combination of decks. Let's get a couple energies from this one. We have letting go on the split and see where we go with this. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or those cross-watching for Capricorn. Let's see what comes through for you. I heard one more. Okay. The world. The world is your oyster. Go for it. I feel like that's your attitude towards something. Like, why wouldn't I? Wait a minute. I have this amazing opportunity to do this, this, or this. Why wouldn't I? Why not? And people are looking at you like, really? Really, Capricorn? Hidden motivations. Victory. Financial constraints. Woman holding a heart. Okay, some people may think, wait a minute, you've socked your money away and now you're going to blow it on something. Or, why didn't you tell us you had this planned? Who is this person who has your heart? I feel like I'm reaching a group of Capricorns who are maybe risk averse normally. And so as people view you, as people look at how steadfast you are and how grounded you are, this is a little bit out of character. Okay, what else is going on here? I just saw 222, big decision. Maybe you're at a crossroads. Okay, I heard grab that. Anything else? Co-creating with the universe. A change in the wind. Okay, let's see what we have. Poised. You're ready to do something that I feel, I don't know if you're just saying thank you for your opinion, but I don't need it. I'm going to do this. You're getting ready for massive change. Okay. I think I'll just throw them up here. Unfinished symphony. You might even be leaving a job early. Maybe you have 2 years left before you achieve tenure, or there's, maybe I'm reaching someone who is just about of retirement age and people are like, you're going to give up that salary to go do that? Are you crazy? And you're like, yep. Is this for love? Capricorn, is this for love? Okay, let's see what's going on here. What is playing out in this scenario for Capricorn spirit? What's going on? I heard it's simple, really. Maybe that's something you said to someone. Or maybe Spirit's telling me, it's simple, really. 5 of Swords, you want what you want. You want what you want. And, if this is someone you're connected to, they want what they want. I'm not getting a bad energy from this. I'm not. I'm getting more so, no, I'm willing to lay down my swords and let that be just what you were striving for, competitive about, worked long and hard to achieve. And it's like, nope. I'm looking at these, this water and these mountains in front of me, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is no longer what I want. I want that. I mean, it's simple, really. Okay, let's keep going. I'm getting that something is okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a clip of a movie. Okay, bear with me because they do this, songs and movies. I'm seeing a clip of a Robert De Niro movie. I believe Robin Williams was in the movie Awakenings. Forgive the terminology, but it's like you've been just kind of, I don't know, catatonic in your life, and something jolts you into making a decision that you never thought you would make, or that you're like, why haven't I? And everybody around you is kind of questioning it. Page of Cups. Sorry, not sorry. I know what makes me happy. I mean, are you trading, stability for love? Are you thinking a person is worth giving something up for? Okay, let's keep going. I feel a lot of energy in this reading. It feels really good, by the way. Like Capricorn, you're going to put on your trunks and jump into a frigid Arctic ocean and just come up laughing. Hanged Man. But why not? There's a perspective change here. Okay, we have the Three of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Six of Wands. Well, we're going to get some clarifiers. Look at this. Look at beneath the deck. I have to tell you that readers look beneath the deck because it's a pending or underlying energy. Look at this. What makes you happy? I'm getting, let's go horseback riding all day. Let's have some fun all day. And you're met with, huh? High Priestess, Tower. I think that there's going to be maybe a bit of an epiphany or maybe even a shock. Okay, so let's get some clarity. Five of Swords. I almost said Wands. Maybe you're doing a battle with, other people's opinions. Five of Swords. Spirit. Okay, I'm hearing upright. It was kind of sideways. The Empress. The Empress. The Six of Wands again. The Nine of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles. This is a new beginning. It could be a fresh start in a relationship. Someone worth fighting for. Someone worth leaving something behind for. Page of Cups. Wow. And I feel like that there's an opportunity here that could pan out really beautifully for you. So you're like, why not? Why wouldn't I? If this is about a relationship, you're hoping it's successful. You're hoping that someone maybe feels the same way. Let's keep going. Page of Cups. Cool your jets. Temperance. You may be waiting for the right time to say something, to put something into motion. King of Wands. There's a lot of passion, courage. I feel like under normal circumstances, you're really super chill, or maybe you've always had this kind of fiery streak within you, and you've kind of tamed it. And I think you're coming unleashed in a good way. Knight of Swords. Wow. Let's look at the Three of Wands. Woo. The Sun. You know what makes you happy. I heard picking up stakes. Some of you may be moving on a whim. New direction, new beginning, maybe new person. Wow, new person. Ace of Wands, Lovers. Is the channeled message I got earlier, like love at first sight and then you get married the next day? Is somebody experiencing that? Maybe you see someone and you're like, wow. It's soul recognition. I mean, whenever there is that strong soul connection to someone, you can guarantee you've had a past life connection. Maybe that's what's going on here. Okay, And maybe this isn't such an overnight thing. Maybe this is a slow build. And you've had a recognition that someone is your future. And you've hidden that. Maybe that's why this is a little bit of a shock to those around you. Maybe you met and parted just as quickly and you're like, there's something undone or not done about this, and I have to explore it. What is the Queen of Swords energy? This is an energy of clarity and discernment. This is an energy of, this is how I feel, this is what I want to do. It's very clear communication, if not a person. Tower. I love this. For some reason, I feel like you're going to stun everybody around you. Now, this tower moment could be an epiphany you're having. It could be the events. I just saw 11:11, the events that ensue that everybody's like, but you've taken so long to do this or do that, and you're just going to let it crumble? Let's keep going. I'm getting carried away. Queen of Swords, Tower. Queen of Swords, Tower, the Queen of Cups. I think this is an epiphany of how you feel. We have the King of Swords in reverse. Why do I feel like this is a naysayer? I do. Because we have the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Let's get one more. The Tower, the Queen of Cups, the King of Swords, reverse. The Queen of Wands. It could be that you find someone alluring, sweet, kind, and you have clarity about that. And maybe someone around you is like, really? I don't know. I mean, are people questioning your relationships? Or maybe you're questioning yourself. Maybe there are, 4 people here and this is a complicated situation. It could be. I don't read into 3, 4, 5 people because it's too complicated. I'm going to stick with you. So what is this? 6 of Wands. This is something you want to build upon. Look at that. Yeah. There's some naysayers. There's people who don't understand. It could be that you're fighting with or arguing with yourself about who to choose. Maybe this is about a choice. Let's take a look at the person you are connecting with. Where do I want to go with this? Yeah, I want to get some guidance from this deck. The person you are connecting with, Capricorn. I just saw 1333. We have doing what's right. Demonstrate accountability, integrity, and strong character, however uncomfortable. If there was any sort of lead-in or challenging situation leading up to this, that doesn't feel like it's a big part of the story. However, if there is some sort of connection, long-term relationship, or family situation that maybe you have to explain yourself, or I don't know, make sure people are taken care of. I don't know your situation. I feel like this is a reminder that there are impacts to other people. This could be someone coming back into your life, wanting to do the right thing. But I feel like, Capricorn, what is done is done. Look at this. Life is about to shift in profound ways. You're considering something very out of character. And when I heard you may be picking up stakes, the end, like a situation, a phase, or a chapter is closing, and you might be dropping some jaws. Okay, so what does Spirit want you to keep in mind about all this? Oh, way too many. I'm going to try that again. Let's put them in the middle. What is Spirit wanting you to consider in this? Wow, guys. Not for you. Something was reaching an end anyway. Ooh. Is this a plot twist? Peace. A change in the wind. Yeah, I'm telling you, I just feel like, in fact, look at this. Who would build a gazebo on top of a zebra? There's something you're doing that's bringing you the solace you're seeking, and that could be a relationship or it could be the end of one. But I feel like it's what you want to do. Let's take a look at the events that will surround this. Okay, routines and discipline. There may be some things that you have to do that you have to fulfill. Maybe that's this unfinished symphony. Learn something new. For some of you, if you're changing a lot about your life, you may be looking for a home. You may be connecting with that person and saying, guess what? Bottom of the deck, emigrating. Wow. Maybe for someone, you're leaving the country you live in. What else? I feel like this is you're raising eyebrows. Raise important questions. This came out for another sign, and I don't know if it was like Virgo or Libra, but I feel like you can't walk into anything blindly. You know, as last minute or as risky or crazy as some people might think it sounds, and as fun as that may seem, I'm like, shoot, I'll hop on. You're going to be measured about that. You're going to be careful and you're going to do the right thing, ask the right questions. We have planning a vacation. Okay, that's it. There's your message. So Capricorn, I feel like your biggest hurdle is the choice to say, okay, a chapter's closing. I feel like you're very certain about what comes next. Maybe you need to communicate it clearly. Maybe you need to Maybe you need to find out something about where you're going, or maybe make sure that the person on the other end is receiving you with open arms. I don't know. So this could be interesting. So I'm going to leave it there. The extended link is below if you want to join me there. We're going to unfold this story a layer at a time. So I hope you enjoy it. If this is where we part ways, Capricorn, have a good time with this. It looks really cool. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the extended. Thank you for being here. Let's continue this reading and see what more the cards have to say about this situation. Capricorn, stop, pause for a second. I need you to be fully present for this, because what you're about to hear is not general motivation, it's timing. Something is moving around your finances right now, quietly, quickly. And the reason this feels urgent is that you thought this situation would drag on. You thought it would take longer. You prepared yourself for delay, for stress, for uncertainty. But something shifted, and by Wednesday, a money situation that's been weighing on you begins to resolve faster than you believed possible. This is not luck. This is alignment. For a while now, you've been carrying financial pressure silently. Bills, obligations, numbers that didn't feel flexible. You've been calculating, recalculating, trying to stay calm while uncertainty sat in the background. And even when you stayed strong, it affected your energy. Sleep felt lighter. Thoughts kept looping. Your mind never fully rested. But here's the truth. This situation reached a turning point recently. Not because you forced it, but because the conditions around it changed. Someone made a decision. A delay ended. A process unlocked and you weren't informed yet. That's why it feels sudden. You didn't see the movement, but it's already happening. By Wednesday, you receive confirmation. It may not come with fireworks, It may arrive quietly, a message, a notification, a conversation that changes the tone completely, but once it arrives, your body will relax. You'll feel it immediately. That tight feeling in your chest loosens, your breathing slows, your thoughts stop racing because suddenly you're no longer stuck in what if. You're dealing with facts. This money situation doesn't resolve because you worried harder. It resolves because you stayed responsible. You didn't avoid it. You didn't run from it. You didn't pretend it didn't exist. You handled what you could control. And now the part you couldn't control is moving in your favor. This is important. The resolution may not look exactly like what you imagine. It may not be the full amount at once. It may not be in the form you expected, but it brings relief, and relief changes everything. It buys you time, breathing room, options, and options restore power. You may notice signs before Wednesday, someone asking a question they hadn't asked before, a tone shift in communication, a sudden update where there was silence. That's preparation. Behind the scenes, a block is being removed. This could be linked to a delayed payment, a refund, approval, debt resolution, financial help, or an agreement finally moving forward. Whatever form it takes, it stops draining your energy. And that's the real gift, because financial stress doesn't just affect money, it affects confidence, decision-making, emotional balance, and you've been carrying more than you should. By Wednesday, the weight lifts enough for you to think clearly again. You're not imagining this timeline. There is urgency because the cycle is closing. You did your part already. Now the response arrives. What's important is how you handle it. Don't panic. Don't rush. Don't immediately spend the relief. Pause. Breathe. Let clarity settle before you move. Because this resolution is not just about fixing a problem. It's about resetting your relationship with money. You're learning something here, that not every situation requires force, that sometimes patience is strategy, that staying calm keeps doors open, and now you're seeing the result. This also marks the end of a stressful chapter. Not magically, not perfectly, but noticeably after Wednesday, you'll look back and realize this was the turning point. The moment where things stopped getting heavier and started getting manageable. And that matters more than sudden wealth, because stability is built from moments like this. If you've been feeling pressure around money lately and something in this message resonates deeply, write, "I receive relief" in the comments. Not to manifest, but to acknowledge what you've been carrying. And stay with me, because part 2 explains why this resolved now. Who or what triggered the movement and how to protect this progress so you don't fall back into the same cycle. Something you need to understand now is why this money situation is resolving at this exact moment. Because timing like this is never random. For a while, things were blocked. Not because you didn't try, not because you were irresponsible, but because too many factors were out of your control. People involved weren't ready. Systems were slow, decisions were delayed, and the hardest part, you couldn't do anything about it except wait. That waiting tested you. It tested your patience, your self-trust, your belief that things could actually improve. You may have asked yourself questions like, why is this taking so long? What am I missing? Did I do something wrong? But here's the truth. You weren't being punished. You were being positioned behind the scenes. Conditions were shifting, someone had to change their mind, someone had to approve something, someone had to release control, and recently they did. This resolution is not just about money, it's about movement. A stagnation phase is ending. The reason it's happening now is because the pressure reached a tipping point, not yours. They could no longer delay, they could no longer ignore, they could no longer hold things up. And once that happened, everything started moving fast. That's why this feels sudden. From your perspective, it looks like nothing happened and then suddenly everything did. But in reality, this was building quietly. This is also connected to how you handled the stress. You didn't explode, you didn't burn bridges, you didn't act recklessly. You stayed composed. And composure keeps options open. People respond differently to someone who stays grounded under pressure. That matters more than you think. Now, let's talk about what exactly is shifting. This resolution brings clarity, confirmation, a clear next step before everything felt vague, uncertain, unstable. After Wednesday, you know where you stand. You may receive a confirmation message, an approval notice, a payment update, a settlement agreement, or a clear timeline that didn't exist before. And that changes how you plan. Instead of guessing, you calculate. Instead of worrying, you organize. Instead of reacting, you decide. That's power returning to you. But here's something very important. This money resolution is not the finish line. It's the reset point. It gives you breathing room, not permission to relax completely. And this is where many people slip. Relief can make people careless, but you're not here to repeat cycles. You're here to break them. So once this situation resolves, your mindset matters more than the amount. Ask yourself, what lesson did this teach me? What do I need to structure better? Where do I need firmer boundaries? Because this was a warning and a gift. A warning about what drains you, a gift of another chance to realign. This also changes your confidence, not in a loud way, in a quiet way. You start trusting yourself more. You realize, I survived this. I stayed responsible. I didn't collapse. That internal shift is priceless. And here's something else. After this resolves, new opportunities start appearing faster. Not immediately, but noticeably, because financial stress blocks creativity. Once the pressure eases, your mind opens. Ideas return. Motivation comes back. Energy lifts. That's when momentum begins. But only if you protect it. Don't immediately take on new stress. Don't promise money you don't have yet. Don't rush decisions because you feel relief. Move slowly. Stability is built deliberately. This moment is also teaching you that not everything needs force. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay calm while things realign, and that's what you did. Which is why this resolution feels earned. You didn't escape the problem, you outlasted it, and now the cycle is closing. If you're feeling calmer just hearing this, if your body feels less tense, write "I protect my progress" in the comments. Not to attract anything, but to remind yourself that relief is a responsibility too. And stay with me because part 3 is where we lock this in. How to move after Wednesday, how to avoid falling back into stress, and how to turn this resolution into long-term financial stability. Now this is where everything locks into place because after the pressure eases, after the confirmation arrives, after Wednesday passes, what matters most is what you do next. This is not just the end of a stressful money situation. It's the beginning of a different relationship with money. A calmer one, a clearer one, a more intentional one. You'll notice something subtle after this resolves. Your body feels lighter. Your thoughts slow down. Your reactions soften. That's not weakness, that's safety returning. When financial stress lifts, your nervous system finally exits survival mode, and that's when smart decisions become possible again. Before this, you were reacting, trying to hold things together, trying not to fall behind. Now you get to plan. And planning is power. The biggest mistake people make after a financial scare is acting like it never happened. But you're not here to forget. You're here to integrate. This situation taught you something important. It showed you where the leaks were, where the pressure came from, what drained you the most, and now you can adjust. You don't need extreme discipline. You don't need fear-based control. You need awareness. Start by asking yourself simple questions. What caused the stress to build up? What warning signs did I ignore? What support did I delay asking for? These questions are not for blame. Therefore, structure, because structure prevents repetition. This moment also shifts your confidence, not the loud kind, the grounded kind. You realize I can handle financial pressure. I don't collapse when things get tight. I stay responsible even when I'm stressed. That self-rust is worth more than the money itself. And here's something else. After Wednesday, you may notice new ideas surfacing, not big risky ones, practical ones, ways to organize better, ways to protect yourself, ways to build more predictability. Pay attention to those thoughts. That's your intuition now, that it's no longer blocked by fear. But move slowly. This is not the time to rush into big commitments, not the time to lend money, not the time to promise more than you have. Stability grows quietly. You don't need to announce relief. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to stay aligned. One of the most powerful things you can do now is create a buffer. Not just financial, emotional,